Welcome back, folks. Today is chapter 3 of technical analysis, and today we're going to learn about candlestick patterns. And without further ado, let's dive right in.
Welcome back, folks. This is going to be the chapter 2 of the bootcamp, and this is going to be about candlestick patterns. Before we begin, I just wanted to recall what we learned in the last session so you don't have to be really confused. Okay, so these candles represent what happened during the time frame. So if you go to the daily time frame, this right here is what happened during the day, and this is where this is open, high, low, and close. If you see a red candle during the day, it means that the day was bearish. If you go to 4-hour chart, one candle represents what happened during the 4 hours. Okay, so just wanted to recall what we learned before we begin and learn about the candlestick patterns. Okay, so let's delete everything so you don't get confused with whatever I have on my chart. And yeah, let's dive right in. So what are we going to learn today? Today we're going to learn about what are candlestick patterns and what are they for and what time frame you're using them, and do you really have to memorize all of them, and how do you use these for entering a trade. First thing first, you need to understand what candlestick patterns are. So as you can tell, we have different types of candles. See, this is like the ideal candle where you have the wicks at the top and bottom and you have a body, right? But if you see the chart, you don't see those candles everywhere. So this is the candle that I initially taught you about, right? So you have wick at the top, wick at the bottom, and then you have a body, right? But all the candles are not the same here. You don't even see a wick below. You only see a wick above, right? And then you see another candle where there's a small body, and there you see another candle with a big body, right? When you see all of these, you're confused why the candles are different and what do they mean, right? So let me explain you what that is. A strong big body represents strength in the direction. Okay? So for example, if you think this candle, it means that the day was completely bullish and you had a bullish day. Like that, you have a big, huge candle here, red candle. Sorry, by the way, when I say red candle, I mean the black candle on my chart. Psychologically, it is easier to handle a black and green candle than to handle a red and green candle while trading because the red messes your head up a lot. It gives you a lot of fear, so that's the reason a lot of traders change from red and green to black and green, okay? And yeah, so going back to this is what it means. Like you have different types of candles, right? So this type of candles, they call it Morobozu. These candle represent strength in the direction. And then you have hammer candlestick where see, you have a big wick at the bottom and then you have a hammer at the top, or you have a big wick at the top and there is a hammer at the bottom, right? So this is what we call it, a hammer stick candle, or here you call it shooting star candlestick. What does that mean? If you go to the chart, we are in an uptrend, right? So what happens typically is, when it reaches the top, you get to see a lot of weakening at the top. What do I mean by weakening is that, you'll see big wicks at the top, not strong candles. Okay, let's go to a different chart and see if that's applicable. You see, it went up and up and up, and then at one point, you see a big, huge wick below the body, sorry, above the body, right? It means there are more sellers than buyers, and the sellers are taking control over this buying, and the sellers are selling a lot. This is what the wick represents. Let's go to a different chart and see what we can see on the chart. Okay, so you see that here, see here you see a lot of candles where you see a lot of wicks at the bottom, right? It means the buyers are in control and they are buying every time there is a dip. It means that the buyers are in control. If there is more and more wicks at the top, it means the sellers are in control. All you have to understand is, like, this right here is a major support. Last chapter we learned about what support and resistances are, right? So here it returned to the support, and here you see that the buyers are taking control and it is bouncing off of here, right? It means the buyers are stepping in and buying more, and there is no trend reversal. Okay, that's what you have to know. And then you see these candles where you don't have a big body, you just have a small body. You have wicks at the top and bottom, right? Um, so let's try and see if we can see any other candles like that. See here, this is a neutral candle, okay? This is another neutral candle. And this means that you have equal number of buyers and sellers. What do I mean by buyers and sellers is that, market moves based on buyers and sellers. Some people think it is bearish, some people think it is bullish, right? So if some people are shorting, some people are longing, and when they are longing, what happens is that it goes up. And when there are more people longing, the price moves up. When there are more people shorting, the price moves down. Okay? So that's what we're trying to understand, and that's what you need to know. Like when there is a reversal, you'll see more wicks at the top. When there's a reversal at the support, when it's going to change direction, the bullish direction, you'll see more wicks at the bottom. That's all you need to know. Don't complicate, okay? And then these are the candlestick patterns, okay? Based on the formation of the red candles and green candles, they call it hammer, inverted hammer, dragonfly doji, etc. There are like hundreds of patterns like that. You don't really have to memorize all of them because it's impossible. To be very honest with you, I don't even know all of these patterns by name. You don't have to put a name to it. All you have to know is to understand the reversal, because we're not using this for making an entry, a trade, okay? This is used to determine the direction or the bias, okay? You need to know where we're headed, right? So if it is in the bullish direction, you need to know whether to continue or whether to reverse. That is, are we gonna continue longing or are we gonna take a short position if we're longing all this while, right? So for that, you need to understand the flag patterns, okay? So you have a bunch of continuation patterns and then you have reversal patterns. What do I mean by that? So here, let's say you are trading here and the trend reversed here, right? So the trend was in an uptrend and then it started going down and it was a reversal, right? So in an uptrend, and you have this and then it reversed, when do you determine that it is going to be reversed, right? So there is going to be a pattern formation. So in this case, what formed? So here you have kind of like a head and shoulders, or you can even consider this a double top and a retouch, okay? Neckline retouch. So here you have a bunch of reversal patterns. So here you'll see double top and head and shoulders and down and triple top and reverse. You can call this anything, like you can call it head and shoulders or triple top, or you can even call it double top and then retouch and dumping, right? So you'll see these patterns before it reverses. And when it comes to continuation, you see this. So what is this? This is this. You see there is bullish falling wedge, right? So you see that exact pattern here. So it goes up and it forms a pattern and then it continues up. So when this pattern is formed and they consolidate, that is continuation. What would I mean by continuation? Previously, you were in a long position here and it continued, right? So this is continuation pattern and this is reversal pattern. So these are something that you have to get familiar with. You don't have to memorize all of these candlestick patterns, but you have to all these candlestick patterns, but you have to get familiar with all of these falling wedge, bullish rectangle, bullish pennant, all of these continuation and reversal patterns. Okay, just take a picture of this, post it in front of your computer and get familiar with all of these. Okay, so that's what you need to know. And when it comes to entry, I personally don't use these pennants and flags for entry, but a lot of successful traders use it for making an entry and target and determining the stop losses too. So it's up to you to determine the strategy that works well for you. Okay, for me, my strategy works better. I just use these patterns to determine the direction of the trade on the daily and the weekly and monthly. Okay, so that's all you need to understand. Okay, don't complicate things. These are the only things that you have to memorize and get familiar with. And also, like, you need to know, you need to learn how to read a candle and to identify the patterns when there is a weakness or strength in the market. That's about candlestick patterns. You don't have to learn more than this. You don't have to memorize all of these patterns to, get good at trading. This is how much you need to know about candlestick patterns. I'm just being very honest with you, okay? Just go to your chart and try to identify as many reversal and as many continuation patterns that you can identify. That is your homework. Okay, so the more you see on the chart, the more you get familiar with. Okay, try to identify like 10 to 20 continuation and reversal patterns on your chart. That is your homework for the next session. And thank you so much for listening. And I'll meet you in the next session. And if you want to trade with me, feel free to click on the link in my description to join my Discord. And if you want to learn technical analysis in a structured course, consider subscribing and turning on the notification. I post on Tuesday and Thursday. And you have a great day. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to trade with me and if you want to learn advanced techniques on trading, you can join me in the Discord. The link is in the bio. And consider subscribing this channel for more educational content on trading and crypto. Thank you.